Nigeria cannot decide anything, right? The basic need of the citizens, for instance, there is no policy guiding it. Now, everything that Nigerians consume on a daily basis, just like we say, is provisions. There is no time the price of provision will come down. It will still going up. If, for instance, the price of this cup went up to $10 because there was an increment on exchange, right? When that thing comes down, that price is not going to come down. If I have goods coming into my state, for instance, that goods is going to travel by road. It's going to travel 6-7 hours by road. That goods is going to risk, if it's perishable food, spoilage, accident, whatever. Now, in my country, tankers or containers falls every day on the road.
Yeah.
But in all our states, there are rivers connecting every state. If I'm not talking about international seaport, but there is no local port connecting every state.
I think maybe it will develop. Now we're speaking about this African intercontinental free zone, connecting like 54 countries, African countries. So let's hope that this can bring some competitive advantage for Africa and neighboring countries.
Who wants to compete? Egypt wants to compete. Morocco wants to compete. South Africa wants to compete because they are still doing everything they can for the past 4, 5, 6 years. Egypt, Morocco, South Africa, they have not lost their position. They have not gone down more than 0.50% because they want to compete. Even if they are not bringing anything very new, because
or at least you have to, for example, the example of Morocco. Yeah, there are some sectors that the government has focused on. For example, whether it's in car manufacturing, whether in also spare parts of in airlines. Basic we can say sectors in Morocco, agriculture, it's or tourism. But also there are some sectors, as you said, like these two, for example, like car manufacturing. Morocco has done a lot. I think it can be a good example also for Nigeria, because at the end you have to choose a specific sector, because you cannot be famous worldwide in everything.
Yes.
If Nigerians, they are good in technology, for example, so you have come up with hubs, make it as a hub for tech startups and work on your ecosystem, and for sure can generate some traction for you. Investors, people, everyone worldwide will start speaking about that country. Now also are using the soft power of sport. So Saudi is an example. So they have understood that you have to position yourself in a different way. So some people now they use, or governments, they use the soft power of sport to position yourself among the G20 economies. Because today, if let's say if you organize a World Cup, FIFA World Cup, so people, it's not just the World Cup itself, because at the end it's just a tournament of 30 days. But what precedes the tournament, like you have 5, even 6, 8 years before, and also the post tournament. So all these is like a big we can say it's a big process. So where you have to develop your infrastructure, you have to develop also your rules and regulations. Can give also the example of whether Morocco or Morocco 2030, because of the co-hosts with Spain and Portugal, and also you have the FIFA, we can say, World Cup in Saudi in 2030. So you can see a lot of countries, for example, let's say in Saudi, metro was not there. So for me, when I got I'm the host of a big mega projects. So there are some projects, maybe you always postpone them. But when you are placed into reality, that you are the organizer, there is an agenda you have to respect, charge, you have to respect. And among this, you have to develop infrastructure, roads, hotels, hospitals. So you accelerate. So I believe these mega events, the development, the economic development, it's a kind of, instead of doing it in 50 years, you accelerate it in 10 years. And this is, lots of people, they see the organization from sometimes positive, negative, because the budget, that the commitment, the governments. But in terms of the, we can say, I believe for the citizens, it's really something important, because when you see infrastructure is developed, when you see sometimes even rules by force, you have to, if you have any old dated or outdated rule that is not convenient with the international standards, because you want to be the host of an event, so you have to to be a little bit flexible and you have to amend it. I think this is it's a tactic. Everyone has his own tactic in life, and the same is the tactics that governments, nations are using. And if you want to can say to achieve something, you need to have the right leaders, because at the end we go back again, leadership, decision making. Because without stepping from your comfort zone and say, okay, my current situation is really bad. You are not happy of what you are doing, and you want to make it better. So you just equip yourself. First, like intellectually, you have to surround yourself with the right people. And when you surround yourself with the right people, then you can put the right strategy, and then you commit to it, and then you make it happen. And then always there is an evaluation, and then always there is an assessment. There are some things we put a plan, a midterm strategy. It can, within the process, we can amend it, we can fix it, we can add it, other initiatives. But at the end, we are serious about our approach, and then we stick to it, and then we work on it.
Yeah. You said about in 2030, Saudi is going to host World Cup, right?
No, the 2030 it will be the Riyadh Expo 2030. So normally these like the Expo 2030, at least you have 160 nations that are going to take part. So this is also a huge opportunity also for African countries. So there will be many pavilions there, like in different. We can say it's the same like what happened before in Dubai in 2021. But what is good for Saudi now, it's an event that will precede the World Cup, and also the government is really 100% engaged in this event. And what's good also, these events now we have seen many we can say regional headquarters, they have moved to Saudi. We are seeing many international companies now, they are opening their branches there. With also, as I told you, regulation, when you put a new regulation that can incite the appetite of investors, like the new law about the real estate. So then you can see I have been in touch with many companies now, especially in the real estate industry, calling, asking, okay, what will happen after 2026? So from let's say investment platform, and also from, I believe also residency side. Now a lot of people, it's the same approach what the UAE used before. People now they instead of thinking of UAE for a short term or a transit country, so when with now people they come, they invest in real estate, they start getting these golden visas. So they believe in the long term we can say prosperity of the country. It's the same now also for Saudi. So they if you buy a property of 4 million Riyal, so you are eligible to get the premium residency. And
just like this guy did also, Donald Trump did for $5 million also.
Exactly. Now every country they put a certain figure, and then they work on it. But what's good, as I told you about Saudi, transformation is there. People that are really serious about the vision 2030. There is a big dynamic. You can say a lot of events, a lot of discussions, many delegations in and out. So you can see that the country is moving. Something you can say positive is going to happen here.
Like I wanted to give an example of US is going to hold World Cup, and I think after US is going to Saudi, right?
After the US, it will be Morocco, Spain, and Portugal. So you have 2026. You have in the States. You have in it's also co-host. States, Canada, and Mexico, 2026 this year, or basically the coming year. Then you have 2030, where you have Morocco co-hosting with Spain and Portugal, and then 2034 you have Saudi. So different continents, okay, from Americas to you have the we can say this is a unique. It will be for Africa, a mixture between the Mediterranean and so Africa and Europe, and then you have the Asian. We can say it will be also in the Middle East, back from Qatar, the 2034, it will be in Saudi. So again, what's good in the story of Saudi, the transformation touches also the people. Now people they are you can say happy about the changes
Yeah. There are a
within
lot
this
of changes there.
exactly
A lot
in
of
terms of
changes there.
society, the workforce also. When you can say you go, you see a lot of engagement of female leaders, female you can say entrepreneurs. So lots of things that were not we can say in place before in Saudi for passing mainly from 20 let's say 16 ahead for the passing let's say 8 years and then going ahead to the coming 8 or 10 years. So lots of changes are happening, and I think this is the right time to be in Saudi to develop something serious and to be part of this transformation of society and also the economy.
Yeah. Where I was going with this is like Nigeria has one of the highest football exports from Africa, right? But there is no infrastructure for them to host any international football events. They cannot host CAF Nations Cup. They cannot host anything. Nigeria, if Nigeria were to bid for CAF football cup now, they cannot host it because there is no infrastructure. They have to check for the stadiums they have. Nigeria is exporting good. When it comes to entertainment, Nigeria is doing really, really well.
Yes.
But now nobody is making plan to attract international audience. At least come and see what is going on in Nigeria, right? Also, another bad PR. Nobody is planning to give Nigeria spotlight. When there is, for example, when it has to do with election, you will start seeing so many rats coming out from cupboard, and Nigerians are not concerned with any. When it has, if I want to use America for example, Donald Trump, his past need to be scrutinized. You see, every time you hear in the news, he did this with this. Here, everybody has to do. When you have to see that somebody who is going to lead you make policy. That is why CV is there, right? You look at the person's experience. What do you have to do this? It doesn't matter. Everybody is here flooding into UAE, flooding into Saudi Arabia, but this is just one person leading them from one family. They are not concerned about your ethnicity or your province, where you come from. Now, and this person they are good at heart. You just want to move them forward. Saudi has always been good, but now they're opening their doors for international people to come and invest. Okay, come and live with us, right? It's not that the economy is not good. It's not that the country is not good.
But now, just exactly, they are ready now to open up. They want, as you said, to invite the world. They have all the resources now. As you said, they have natural resources and also they have the will, because I believe this is sometimes, as you said, you have the resources, but if you are, as you said, the goodwill is very important. If you want really to put your country in the map to be a leading country, so you have to show that everything can be done. It's just a matter of putting the right people. The same what happened also in the UAE. So from the beginning, the strategy was there. They were surrounded with the right consultants, right people. So as you said, the founding, you can say, leaders, they were determined to put their country ahead of everyone. And then they have succeeded. Everyone is speaking about the UAE now, as you said, Saudi, very serious about their approach. So again, it's back again to hard work. And if you have that determination, you can compete in any obstacle.
At least care.
Yes, and you have to care. For sure, you have to care for your own people.
Yeah.
Because if you are jealous or it's not jealous, basically, if you are more selfish, because and if you think only of yourself, so for sure. So you will never touch the well-being of your own citizens. I think also sometimes we as Africans, it's our responsibility to elect the right people. Sometimes it's not one person, because at the end you are speaking about a party, you are speaking about a system. It's not just, even you say this person is good and bad, but do you pinpoint only this person, or it's a system, or it's a party? So we cannot sometimes put the blame on one factor. We cannot say, okay, a lot of people say, because you have elected that party or that person, that's why things are getting worse. But you think that if we do the vice versa, the other party will do better, or we have to work from the scratch. It means we have to work on, as again, educational system. We have to work on our democracy, how it is thriving within our societies. We have also to work about educating the citizens. This is number one, because that citizen is the one who is going to elect. That citizen today, who is maybe 10 years at school, is the one maybe will be the leader of that country. So it's not just you cannot put the blame on one person or one we can say factor that affects the current situation. But it's more about again, you have to deep dive to understand the cause and why we have attained this situation.
Okay, I want, if I has to do closing segment, I would say, now, Nigeria is about 230 million people with millions of SMEs. People always trying. You will see even old people. Everybody has kiosks. You get this thing we do in Nigeria. We have kiosks, but because of most people cannot afford kiosks, so they do hawking on the street, like traffic. You do hawking. Such thing is not here. You cannot do everything. Has to do with shop.
Exactly.
But yeah, now the question is, what can this society do, even if it's not for direct foreign investment, right? Just to boost the GDP, that is SMEs to grow. What can people do to see that a serious person, somebody who wants to do business, sees a viable environment to do business? Speaking specifically to Nigeria.
Okay, if we, for example, we have always to give examples with, you said dense, let's say, economies. Always also go back to Asia, let's say, to China as an example, or to India. They have the trade unions. So again, back to the private sector, because if these, you said, the street traders, exactly, hawking, and so if I think you have to have this union, we can say trade union. They have to combine their efforts. Then their voice can be heard, whether locally or internationally. There are many opportunities if they look for it, but again, they cannot work individually. If they work as a cluster, so you develop a cluster, a lobbying cluster, and the same also for China. There are lots of factories, small factories. They don't have the power, for example, to attend events overseas. But because they are part of a trade union, there are initiatives. Again, we go back to the government initiatives that they can support these small startups or solopreneurs sometimes to be visible. Sometimes people, they cannot go outside, but they create platforms digitally. Now everything can be done online.
Yes.
So in this case, I think the right approach, since in Nigeria you have lots of tech companies, they have to develop some platforms that they can also trade it overseas. So instead of coming, if you complain today I cannot do anything. But if we are 100 small, let's say, SMEs, we combine our efforts maybe in one platform. That platform, it can be as a proof of concept. Wherever you want to speak with any, we can say, authority, organizing committee, anything, you can always show it. But you have to start from something. People, how they will know you? Again, back to PR, and so you have to combine efforts, produce something. As I told you, a platform or any proof of concept, people, they can see it, and then you don't have to wait others to promote you. So you can approach many countries, as I told you, they look for these startups, and they can also give you funding options. And this is very important because I think now you have to take initiatives by yourself. But again, when it comes to big number, to specific country, it's better to work as I told you, as a cluster, as a group. And then you can look for there are many, I have seen, like many it's not just like there are many we can say federations. There are many organizations that they look for these startups, but you have to approach them and get in touch with them
and find a way to protect them, because there is no protection for them.
For sure. Protection, you have to protect yourself by yourself. It's your intellectual property. You have to, nobody will protect it for you. So you are responsible of any action you are taking. If you say today, I am a startup, I'm not happy with my current situation in Nigeria, for example, and you want to seek other markets, it's you. You have to be aware about the rules and regulations, how it works internationally, and educate yourself.
Yeah, what I mean by protecting them is if I am somebody that everything I do is based on imports, right? Now, there is no specific import duty that I'm going to pay. It's going to be from hand to hand. You understand? And when my goods arrives, there is no safe guarantee road for that goods to get to me. I cannot buy something right now, and that after weeks of days of importing that in, because we are not manufacturing it, is also going to travel on a bad road 200 kilometers or 300 kilometers, taking levies, let me not call it bribe, giving levies on the street, like these vigilante police people, we do it. You give them levy, give levy, give levy, give levy for your goods to get to the location where it's supposed to be. And when that goods gets there, if it's perishable, just like we said, everything is not going to be intact.
Yeah, unfortunately, when we'll have this self-sufficiency in Africa, so we will have, for example, now unfortunately in Africa we have the resources, but the resources are processed outside and then they go back to Africa. And this is always we mentioned this when we have this self-sufficiency that our resources can be processed internally. So then we can speak about. We don't have to speak about these challenges and these problems. So you don't have to complain about the supply chain, why it's delayed, who it's going to control, the tariffs, all these things. But if you produce it locally. So again, it's not just a combination. It's a combination of the responsibility of the government, responsibility of these people as well who are complaining. But the change will happen as soon as there is a good intention. People that are aware that the challenges are there, we need to overcome them. Because sometimes that self-awareness is the starting point.
Yes.
When you are aware that you are not happy, you have the resources, you see that you have the potential. What is lacking is, okay, sometimes regulations, these. So I think with time, with working on these challenges and problems, we will going to overcome them. And at a certain time, we will, hopefully we will see Nigeria, other African countries competing within different markets.
Another, yes. Yeah. Okay, thank you for coming, Mr.
Thanks, thank you, thanks,
It was
Victor.
amazing having you, Victor.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.